Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another edition of Market Analysis with Andra. And our AI engines are running great, and we've introduced new models for the ES. And this is actually the first forecast that the new models have made, and we'll see what happens. And we're currently on a slightly bearish call. It's slightly bearish because we have a vertical down where both models have moved down and moved down enough for it to be a real vertical down. But we do have the price starting out below the green line or price predictor model. So that gives us a likelihood of finishing higher than we started. We started at 32. So this forecast might finish above 32. Can't tell yet. We'll see if that turns out. We won't know that until Sunday night because this forecast just came out a little while ago and will run into Sunday night. Okay, so what has the ES been doing and what has Andra been saying? Well, we've added some features to Andra, which if you're keen of eye, you'll notice, and we're actually going to make it a little bit more obvious as we move closer to beta test and release. But you can see that the dots that allow us to see what the forecasts are, these ones over here that when you mouse over them or click on them you can actually see what the forecasts are now color-coded to show you whether they're bullish or bearish. And as you can see, we have a bearish forecast here. And even though it's a slightly bearish forecast, it still shows as bearish. We also had a bearish one over here. Andra has been getting a little tiny bit bearish, not too bad. And we still seem to be very, very rotational. Now we were going sideways, and actually I'm going to move back, give you a little bit more context here. I'm going to move back a bit so you can see. Maybe we'll go back to 8 or 9 days. And you can see that we were going sideways in this whole area over here. And then we attempted to break up, but we did not retrace far enough to get up to this key spot over here in the 40-50 area. Actually, we've barely gotten above 4,000 so far. And we've now come back into the range. Now it's possible when you break out of a sideways structure to come back into the range and test the high volume spot. And the high volume spot, just from my eye, looks like it might be in the 3920 to 3930 area. And we are attempting to bounce off of there. So we'll have to see on Sunday night whether that turns into be a real bounce or whether it's just temporary and we're going to go through. If we go through, then we might get down to test maybe this area over here, maybe not. We'll see. Right now, like I said, we appear to be very, very rotational. Now, we've been adding features at a very rapid rate as, like I said, we're moving closer and closer to beta test and product release. And one of the things that we've been playing with very, very hard is our trade analyzer. And our trade analyzer is really what differentiates this version of Andra from anything else you've seen in trading before, because it gives you very precise information that you've never seen before. Okay, so I'll show you what that's all about. And I'm just going to switch tabs here. And you can see here's our trade analyzer. And you can see that it's telling us right, which you can clearly see, that we have a slightly bearish forecast and that it's a vertical down with a finish up, meaning that we expect a downward movement but possible finish a little bit higher than where we started. Now I'm going to just take a second and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see. So just give me a sec. And as you can see, there's a few things that are a bit different here. First of all, we have a refresh button over here now. And when you click it, it brings the price up to what the current market price is. And you can see the current market price is at 39.50. And when you click on best trade now, which I'm going to do, what it does is it gives you a lot of information. It not only tells you, like I said, what you could see before, that we're in a slightly bearish forecast, but it also tells you that there's a potential short recommended. Now, by potential, that means it may not be appropriate for you. You should only take trades if they're appropriate for you. Andra tells you is based upon her mathematics and her AI models, but it doesn't necessarily have to be right. Nothing is right every single time in trading. What Andra's telling you is that you could take a short here, and that if you did take a short, you might want to put your stop at 39.61 and your target at 39.20 based upon a 10% target probability. I switched over to my NinjaTrader screen, and as you can see, I'm in a sample short which I took earlier during the period when we were waiting for a forecast, and I was testing out another very unique feature that we're putting into our trade analyzer, which I will show you when it's appropriate. But what that feature lets you do is take trades while you're waiting for forecasts by telling you whether there's an advantage or not to take either a long or a short, depending on which trigger is hit. And it also tells you which trigger is more likely to be hit. And that's an advance that is particularly useful for swing trading, and it's also useful for knowing whether to hold trades into the next forecast, which gives you a much bigger advantage. Okay, but what I wanted to show you here is I wanted to give you an idea of what's going on the weekly chart. Because you can see the weekly chart here, and you can see that right now this week is ending very rotational. We did make a low. We came down and attempted to test this area over here, which we had pointed out in last Friday's video. As we said that if we did not manage to get through there, it might lead to rotation between the 4200s and those 3800s. Now remember, when we did this video last week, even though I was showing you the same chart, it was the ESH contract, which was 34 points lower, and we were talking about the 3090 area being tested. And now with the adjustment for the new June contract, we're talking about the high 3820s. Okay, and we, like I said, we did get close to there earlier this week, and now we've come up, and it's not clear what next week is going to be. Not clear whether we're going to end up going back up and continuing to make some sort of a sideways structure on the weekly time frame, or whether we're going to still potentially break down and test the October low. Okay, so that's still unclear. Okay, so back to our Andra screen, and as you can see, we're still rotating around, and like I said, the market is going to close at 5 o'clock, so there's not much left in the day, and forecast will play itself out on Sunday night, and we'll see if we do manage to break down more, or whether or not we're just going to go sideways into the next forecast, as seems to be happening lately. But we keep adding. We have our new models, and we're trying to bring the latest technology possible, and the biggest advantage is to traders. If you get a chance, come by our website. We're going to be posting some new blog articles, and also I'm posting all of my videos that I'm doing to the video section of our website. The website is at AndraAI.com, and if you follow me on Twitter, as many of you do, then you can see the website address in my profile on Twitter. Okay, so I will see everybody later, and good trading, everyone.